My name is Frederico da Silva. I'm a co-founder at UX. UX is a company that creates inclusive technologies for job creation. So we have two platforms, emprego.co.mz, which is an online recruitment platform that caters for the formal market. And then we have bishkat.co.mz, which is a marketplace for lower income and demand workers, connecting workers with no access to internet via USSD to customers from middle and upper middle class seeking for these kind of services, such as electricians, plumbers, carpenters, etc. I mean, there's all the cliches of having a lean structure, failing fast, etc., etc. I think those you get it everywhere. Where I can say something different, it's related to the context that I've been working in. So being from Mozambique, one of the big mistakes that we had in the beginning was to believe that our journey would be just like Silicon Valley or Europe, where you create your MVP, you pitch, you get seed funding, it helps you, attracting some talent, and then you go through all the conventional, let's call it, phases of any startup. And I think that sets some expectations, and then you end up failing because you were not prepared to think differently about the context in which you are involved. So in our case, we had to learn the hard way, and then we created a tech consultancy arm in our business, and that's how we bootstrapped. We generated revenues, we reinvested those revenues in the initial platform, and eventually 2 years later, we launched the version 2, and it made a difference to us. So I think that's one of the big mistakes that we all end up doing, is to kind of try to mirror the reality that you see in more developed ecosystems in our own. And we just need to understand that things are not, the reality is not the same, the context is not the same, so you need to look at it differently. So once again, the context in which you operate really dictates your strategy. For us, is focus on the business first, and investment should follow. So far, we've been growing organically. We own the whole company, so we did not did any equity deals. And I would say that it's a ladder approach to growing, and not an elevator approach. Where it's not, you don't grow overnight because the capital injection is not there, right? So it's a hard question for me to answer, because I feel that we are still not. Yes, we are a mature company in our market, but we have not yet grown to the regional level. We are in an additional 2 markets, and in those markets we are also trying to understand which model works better. So I think we are testing this scalability. Yeah. Well, in our journey, expanding to additional markets is all about finding the right partners. So you need to find a partner that understands your vision, believes in what you're doing, and of course brings all the ingredients that you'll need to succeed in that market, such as customers, insights, market intelligence, additional partnerships. You find someone who's already established and knows the market as we know our market. I think that's the fundamental thing. And especially if you are growing without the investment, right? Of course, if you have investment, it's slightly different. Not to say that the partners become irrelevant, but you have more control, and you can really set up shop in those markets. You can hire. It's a completely different structure, right? If you don't have the money, then you really need to rely on someone who's trustworthy and that is super aligned with what you're doing.